This is our finished product, our simple handmade fabric face mask making tutorial product with filter packet, no sewing machine needed. Materials needed for this project: 29 cm circle for pattern, fabric, thread, needles, scissor, tape measure, ties, and marker. For filter, any paper towels, but heavy duty is prepared. Welcome to Jocelyn Stein vlog. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Make sure to hit the bell notification button to keep you posted. Love you guys. Thank you. There, this is our fabric. We are going to iron it so well to get rid all the wrinkles around it, so that when we put our mixing bowl to make our pattern, and when we trace it, we're not going to lose a lot of portion of it, because when we trace it, because the materials, the fabric that we have is a little soft, so it could, like, the pen could drag the fabric. So we have to make sure it's not wrinkled and it's flattened and it's all wrinkle free. So when we put our pattern, we can see it so well, and it's not going to drag it because it's smooth running. So we have now our pattern. We put our mixing bowl already, and we're going to trace alongside of it, along around the circle. So, and then we make sure also that it's not gonna be dragging the fabric, because we want to make sure we have the right pattern. So that's what we have. I would suggest, if some people, you have a foam, get the foam, and then put some pins around the foam with your fabric, pin on it, and then you put your mixing bowl, and then in that way, while you're tracing it, they're not gonna be moving because you stick them to your foam. So no matter how much you drag it, it's not gonna be dragging because of the pins that you put around it. So if you have those kind of um pieces of foam and pins, then yeah, put the pins around it, and put a foam pins around it, and then put your pattern on top. It's not gonna be dragging. I don't have, so as you can see, I don't have, so that's why I iron it so well. So if you have an opportunity to have that you have a foam and then a pins, put your fabric, make sure there are no wrinkle also, and then put pins around it, and then put the mixing bowl, and then trace it. Simple, right? So that is the other way that you're not gonna lose a part of it, because very little portion of it that you lose, it will create a big problem of your job, because they're not gonna be, because we are going to fold it. It has to be, you know, corner to corner, from one corner to another. Has to be corner to corner. But then, if some portion of it was cut off, then when you put it over, when you fold it, then they're not gonna be even. So that's why you have to be very, very careful not to lose a portion. So that's why I'm gentle about it also, because you want to make sure you don't lose a little bit on your pattern, because it's very important for the pattern. So see, because we fold it like that, and then we're going to fold it again, but we have to iron first, and then see, there's a little bit thing, and then we have to fold it, and we have to iron it to make sure they are really straight. See, we have to iron, and then you fold it again, that, and then you iron it also, because we make sure they're evenly cut. So we iron every fold, and that's it. See, make sure you look at the top, make sure they are all the same, and top and bottom, sides and sides. But this one, we have to iron it. Iron to make sure that they are all even. And then here, this is our pocket for filter right there. And then you sew from that portion going down all the way to the other end. The same thing as the other side. So keep the filter pocket open. You don't sew that portion. You don't sew it all the way, but you have to sew it when later to support, so that you're not gonna be losing a fabric. They're not gonna come loose. And this side, the other side, is you go all the way. But I'm tracing it also. You don't really need to trace it, but I am tracing so that I'm not gonna lose a thing. I'm not gonna start very close or something too far. I wanna make sure I am doing it the same to the other side. That's how I'm lining it. So that's what I'm doing. And then I'm going to run a running stitch to close it. And then later, after I do the running stitch, I'm not going to cut it first. I'm going to cut it later. I have to do a running stitch, one top first, the top first, because they're double. Remember, the bottom, do the top first, and then you go to the other one. Then I'm using a running stitch that side until we reach the one that we have lined. And then we have to make sure no wrinkle, stretch, and then lock it a little bit, and then you have to lock just one time, and then cut it, and then go to the other side. You have to make sure you have you have a, and then like that running stitch. We're going to do it all the way also, running stitch, because, and then after that lock it also, so that you don't lose the thread, because the thread could come loose by our movement. And then cut the thread, and let's go to the other side. And the other side, we're going to do a running stitch still, because we want to make sure that we're not gonna lose a piece. I did not cut yet, but we will cut it later. Okay, we're doing it one piece at a time. See, we're done with the bottom. Now we're on the top. See, one at the bottom and then one at the top. So now we're doing the other side. We're done with the one with pocket, the other one without a pocket. I'm doing what I did, guys, because I want to make sure that I don't lose a thing, that I will cut them evenly. Doing what I'm doing is we don't lose a portion on the other side or on the other side. And then after that, I'm going to cut it now. So we're going to separate the top and the bottom with pocket and the one without the pocket. And now we're going to separate them, because we already had there one top, one with pocket, and then the other one without the pocket. That's why my trick, instead of using a pins. And then now we're sewing it, and I'm not cutting the other side also. I'm trying to finish first before I am going to cut also the other side, because we're going to cut also the other side. But right now we're not cutting yet. We're going to sew all the way also to finish the job. There. Now we're done. So we're doing the back stitch on one side, and now that one let's do to the other side. Back stitch, back stitch, and let's go backward, backward. So look at, we're going back up, backward. If you have a sewing machine, this you can finish this job within only a couple of minutes. But because we're using the hands, next time also I will show you the sewing made in sewing machine and how much we can make using the sewing machine within an hour or maybe within 30 minutes. And I will post it also in YouTube. And then for people who's going to make a business, this is a good opportunity to make business. But find a good material. And see, we're done on it. Now we're cutting on the other side. So now we have our complete open already. See? Now you're open already. So then let's go to the other side. After we're done with this, we're gonna cut also the other side of it so we can open it and put it on top of the other one. Continue sewing it until you finish. And cut it. Let's continue where we stop. Backstage, always backstage, guys. Backstage, 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 backstage. So we use backstage, okay? You can do running stitch, guys, if you want to make it faster. But if you really want to use a running stitch, double it, okay? After you reach the end, lock it and then go back again. Lock it. Make sure you lock it because it's very important that your thread is holding, because if you just have a running stitch, I'm afraid that it will not be holding it. You know, one little mistake come up the other end, or some it broke. If there's a if it break the yarn, there's a little bit loose portion on it and it broke, and then you have it's not holding anymore in your mask, so it's not good. So, and also if you have the mask already and you before you wear it, double check first, because it doesn't take so long to just, you know, redo whatever is broken portion of your thread. Make sure always check your mask, that especially when you go out in public, so you don't want to have some thread came loose from holding it. So you want to make sure you're protected. Okay, so make sure, double check also, double check your mask if there's no loose thread. So I always do back stitch, guys, because I don't really mind if it's a long time or not. What I mind is heavy duty and it's a durable job. So after you do this, you can go. Some people had a sewing machine. Do it a sewing machine, guys. I have a silk material. I'm going to try to use my silk and see how it's going to be. There, and now let's cut the portion that we did not cut yet. I just want to make sure we don't lose a portion, and that's it. We're done. And now let's bring it. One of them has to be there. Now we're going to put them against each other. Try to use the pin cushion. We'll see. And look to the other side too. Use the pin cushion to hold. But me guys, I don't really like pin cushion because sometimes pin cushion for me, I feel like it bothers me. It's like, you know, I can't go straight right away. So what I did is I kind of like, okay, because right, like this one, we need to press them. We need to fold it. How can you pull if there's a pins on the thing, see? So that's why I don't like it. And let's remove it and put it on the other corner instead. There. But still I don't like it because I'm afraid to get poked by a needle. And there you go. So now we can look at it. Now let's start sewing it. And oops! Forgot to have a tie at the other end. And let's do back stitch, back stitch, back stitch, back stitch, and remove the pins, it's in the way. Back stitch, back stitch, back stitch, back stitch. And I'm not going to continue it all the way. I will stop it because I'm going to make sure I have them even on one side to the other side. So I will stop there. There, back stitch, back stitch, and let's cut it. Back stitch, not back stitch, here's a back stitch. Sorry sometimes guys, I'm off of the camera because sometimes I forget that I'm on the camera. I'm so sorry if that happens. I'm trying my best to be on the camera all the time. And let's go to the other side. Back stitch, back, and back. That's it. Keep doing it. Back stitch, back stitch, back stitch, back stitch, back stitch. Now we're cutting and we're trying to clear up a little bit, and we'll see. Making our simple handmade fabric face mask in our tutorial, it's not that hard. First, we're going to find a perfect circle, put on top of your fabric, mark around using pen or marker, cut your pattern, sew together before cutting the edges, put on top of the other outside out. Sew around, don't forget to make pocket for felter. The circle I picked is 29 cm. Mixing bowl. I make sure that the mask will fit snugly on face and reach ears to have a better protection. I make sure I cut a pieces evenly. And for filter, we can use paper towel. For ties, anything that's stretchable like hair ties or t-shirt cutouts, or for myself, I use the tie from the surgical mask that I cut out, and use backstage if possible to have a firm hold of your mask and better protection while wearing your mask. And periodically check your mask for a broken thread and sew them as soon as you see it. There are so many cloth or fabric we can use for mask, t-shirt, bra, cotton and silk. Combine are better. So it's up to us, guys. And so whatever that you think is good to cover and protect you against inhaling any virus and spreading virus, you made it. And especially if you have a scarf, you have a bandana, those you can use them. And the bandana or scarf, especially the bandana, is the easiest thing to use. Very easy. I have one already that I made out from one of my scarf. It's a long scarf and I cut it in four and I make it 4 masks. So I will post it after this video, okay, because I will make them and then I will post them. So maybe we're gonna make it halfway. So I'm gonna make first and then I make all of it, and then after that I post it with some of it finished already without the patterns. Okay, so there you go. We're almost done with our job, and we're still doing it, the backstage, and we're almost done on the other side. We almost right there at the top. And make sure you always keep on checking, stretching it, because you don't want it wrinkled. Because if it's wrinkled, there, that's why I was thinking I'm going to buy a clamp, because clamping it in one side to the other side. And if we are doing hand sewn, then we need a clamp so that you don't pull it from one end to the other end. But if I'm going to use my sewing machine, I don't need a clamp. So, guys, next time I will show you how I'm using it by my sewing machine. So there, we flatten it and let's carve it to the other end. There. We're almost done. We're almost there. So we're almost finished. Hopefully we can finish it faster. If I'm using a running stitch, we'll finish within like 15 or 10 minutes. But that's not a problem. That's okay. It's not how fast we can make it. It's how durable we made and how strong the thread hold on our fabric, because we are going to make sure when we're using it, it's not gonna coming loose. You don't want to use your mask and then all of a sudden it's loose. Okay, this one, guys, we did not do the pocket yet, but let's try to flip it over and see the outcome yet. Let's look how it goes. And there you push that corner, and then we can do the outside, the face out, like that. I use my hand, my two fingers to push them away from each other so that it will be a little thing. But come on, let's go to it inside so that you will see this is how it looks. So that's how it looks. Okay. I'm gonna make another video that I will finish everything, including for the tie portion, before I would even fold it to the other end, before I'm going to flip it over. So now let's thread more because we run out of a thread. Okay, let's do this pocket for the filter. There. I do running stitch and back stitch. Okay, back stitch, that's running, and back stitch. When we go back, that's a back stitch, running, and back stitch, and running, and back stitch, and running. Oh, it's off the camera, sorry guys. And let's lock it. And there. Now let's make a tie portion for the tie. Okay, now we have done iron. We ironed them. Now we're done ironing. Let's do for the tie. So did you see what I did? I make sure I push. There is like 1, 2, 3, 4 corners, right? We push it all the way and then iron. Push it and iron. We try to make it even. so that it will be snuggle and it will fit snugly to our face. And now we are on the thigh portion. I will make another one that, and I will post it, the one that I cut all 4 pieces first, because I think this trick that I am showing now, some people will not get it, because they might have thought before, when the very first time I do the filter packet, sewing, and then I go to the other side, maybe they thought I hand sewn all of them together. No, I don't. We have 4 pairs, 1 2 on the top and 1 2 at the bottom. So I made it, I hand sewn it first, the top, the one with filter, and then next to the one without the filter. Now we're almost done with it. I'm almost done. Now we're doing our tie portion. So we're going to do back stitch, back stitch, back stitch, back stitch, back stitch, back stitch, and back stitch, and back stitch. Now let's get the tie. 1 2 2 ties. Those are the ones I have from surgical mask. Push it. Now work. Let's do get my small scissor. And if you're in a hurry, took so long. Let's use my small scissor and push. There, it's faster. Why should I have to go crazy with? Then tie it and pull it in. And let's go to the other side. Same thing. Use a small scissor, push the hole, and that's it. Faster. And tie it. And bring it in. And let's try it. And filter. I use my heavy duty filter. It's a commercial thing that it's strong even when wet. So that means that's a good filter. And it's a good filter. Oh, I'm not gonna do it 3 times. We have to fold it in half and then quarter. And then quarter. 1/4. And put the one that in. And put the other side and push the top, the side, the top, the side, the top and the side. And make sure you push 4 corners, and that's it. We got our mask, and let's wear this. Let's remove my surgical mask and wear it. Okay, we'll see. It looks good, and it's in the center. And I have one video also of the finished one of the other one that I made. Well, this one is perfect because I iron and iron and iron. I have one that I did not iron it, and after I iron it, it's straight. But when I did not iron it, it looks crooked. See this one. I did not iron it, and it looks crooked by the front. And after I iron it, it looks good. But this one, it's also fits snugly. Look, there's no space by the eyes area, by the ears. See, no air can get in by the eyes going up. See, no space, no air can get in. They are so tight. They are snugly on your skin. And then by the chin area, it's close by the chin area, and it goes all the way to your throat. So when I move, I can still move because there's a space a little bit for me to move on my chin and my neck, and it's good. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you like my video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button to keep you posted. Make sure to like and share my video. I love you guys. God bless you always. Thank you so much. God bless.